So today, here are 4 signs that you grew up with a narcissistic mother. Now this could also apply to a father. I just thought I'd say mother because so many, I think, can relate to this on many levels, and that way I can just say she and it makes it a lot easier. But this could also apply to a father or really any caregiver. So the first sign that you may have grown up with a narcissistic mother is chronic self-blame. If you're someone that blames yourself for just about everything, then there's a good sign you grew up with a narcissistic mother. And so what do I mean? I mean, you literally blame yourself for everything. And you know, if you're one of these people, you know exactly who you are. Whenever something goes wrong, the first thing that you go to is blaming yourself. Like, if I had done this differently, it would have turned out differently. And it could be anything. There could be a bunch of different reasons why this particular thing didn't turn out right, but you, for whatever reason, always end up blaming yourself. You just blame yourself for everything. And this is really because, you know what? Mom never accepted responsibility for her actions, and she blamed you. So guess what? Now you blame you, because you've got mom's voice right up here in your head. And even if you don't realize that that's what's going on, that's exactly what's going on. And you know what? Sometimes the blame isn't super obvious when you're growing up. Sometimes it's really insidious, and she can kind of blame you in a way that doesn't seem like blame. And then other times she blames you in a way that's very obvious that she's blaming you. And so, like I said, you get this voice in your head, and it's kind of like mom's there with you, even if you're a grown adult, and you kind of carry her around with you. So that's why that happens. The second sign that you may have grown up with a narcissistic mother is that your needs don't matter. Now, really, your needs do matter. I don't really mean to say that your needs don't matter, but you think your needs don't matter. You don't ever make your needs a priority. You make everyone else's needs a priority, but you don't really make your needs a priority. And partly, you may not even really know what your needs are. You may not be able to identify your needs. And so, really, when you were growing up, your needs were not accounted for, because with a narcissistic mother, her needs come first. And so you may think back and think, well, that's not true. I mean, I always had a nice meal, and I was able to have friends over at the house, and that's not true. But really what I'm talking about is your emotional needs. Your emotional needs, I can guarantee, if you grew up with a narcissistic mother, your emotional needs were not even noticed. And if they were, it was like for brief little glimpses of time, because really with a narcissistic mother, her needs come first. Her needs always come first. And if you need something, guaranteed in that moment, she's going to need something even bigger. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially if you're already aware that you grew up with a narcissistic mother. So the third sign that you grew up with a narcissistic mother is that you are a selfless caretaker. That sounds kind of like a good thing, doesn't it? A selfless caretaker, like, is that a bad thing? I mean, caretakers are taking care of others is a good thing, right? But what I'm talking about is you go that extra step, and you are always throwing your whole self into other people and their needs and what they desire, and you're really never looking at yourself and thinking about what you need. Now, if you're someone that likes to take care of people, that's awesome, as long as you're taking care of yourself too. Right? So I'm talking about just you find this comfort in really giving to other people to the point where, and I would say you even almost find it aversive to look at what you need or to even accept help from other people. And really this is because your needs go unmet growing up as a child with a narcissistic mother. Your mom did not notice your needs, and so your needs kind of they become invisible. And what you learn is that if you make your mom important and you cater to your mom's needs, then it'll make your mom happy. And then if she's happy, then you're a good kid, right? That's how you get your mom's approval when she's a narcissist. You get her approval by meeting her needs. And so then you carry that around in adulthood, and you don't even know you're doing it. It's just that you realize you find some comfort in meeting other people's needs. So, number 4, the fourth sign that you grew up with a narcissistic mother is chronic anxiety. If you are someone that worries all the time, you are chronically anxious. Now, if this is the only one of these signs you have, chronic anxiety, that does not mean you grew up with a narcissistic parent. But if you have all 4 of these, there's a good chance. Yeah. So chronic anxiety, there's this fear, always this fear that something will go wrong, that the other shoe is going to drop, that just kind of this consumed by worry. And really that comes from when you grow up with a narcissistic mother or father, you grew up with a narcissistic parent, there's always this feeling like you're in survival mode. Like when things are good, you just kind of savor it, and you really know that at any moment, all of a sudden things are just going to turn catastrophic. Mom's going to go into a rage of some sort, and I mean, as a child, there's nothing more fearful than the one person that you look for caretaking to turn into this like scary person, right? So you carry those feelings around with you in adulthood, and there's just this chronic sense of anxiety, this chronic sense of things are unpredictable, things aren't going to go as planned, and you just never really know, like I said, when something's going to go wrong. So those are the 4 things: chronic self-blame, feeling like your needs don't matter, being a selfless caretaker, and number 4, chronic anxiety. And these things, as you know, they will impact your being, just who you are. And they'll also impact your relationships in a negative way. But the good news is, the really good news, is that with the right treatment, with the right therapy, you can and will get to a place where you can change these behaviors. You can feel whole and fulfilled and lead a productive, fulfilling life.